Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails, and that's my book. You can get it on Amazon. Right, let me tell you what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about Dominic Raab. Dominic Raab is the Justice Minister at the Ministry of Justice. The Ministry of Injustice, the way I see things, yeah. And he promised to overlook a certain case of a convicted killer. He was convicted of manslaughter, not murder. Apparently, this man, his name is Robert Brown. He's currently in prison, serving 26 years for the manslaughter of his wife, who was about to divorce him. He went round to her house, where they were estranged, you see, with a claw hammer and clubbed her to death. Apparently, beat her around the head 14 times with a claw hammer. Then he dragged the body to the car, drove it to the woods, and buried her in a shallow grave in the woodlands. He'd previously dug the grave, so this was premeditated murder, but he pleaded diminished responsibility and was sentenced to 26 years, which is a determined sentence. So at the end of 13 years, that's 50% of the actual time, he is entitled to be released at the discretion of the Justice Minister. That's a new law that's come in quite recently. So the parents of the victim of this murderer, Robert Brown, manslaughter killer, yeah, they're pleading with Dominic Raab, the Minister of Justice, to step in and prevent his release. Apparently, Robert Brown was a former airline pilot who'd gone quite strange and decided to beat his wife to death. So it's up for consideration, and apparently Dominic Raab has said that he will consider this closer to the time of release. I mean, there is a man who's actually committed murder, who's coming up for release after 13 years in prison, and we've got the likes of Charles Bronson, or Charles Salvador as he now likes to be called, coming up for parole. How many years he's done? 30 odd years in prison. And he hasn't killed anybody, Charles Bronson. He's beaten a few up, taken governors hostage, he took an art teacher hostage once for criticising his work. I can understand it, you know what I mean. I mean, if he dedicates his life to being an artist, which he is doing now, and I like his artwork. It's very effective. It captures the spirit of the man, don't you think? Have you seen the artwork of Charles Bronson? Have a look. Type it in on Google, Charles Bronson artwork. Yeah, and then go to images, and you'll see it there. It's like people in cages, or people who've got cages over their heads, you know, with handcuffed and barbed wire and all that, which is how he's depicting his life. Because I believe that Charles Bronson's artwork comes from within. You know, he isn't looking at a horse-drawn cart crossing a ford like the Haywain, nothing like that. He isn't looking at an industrial landscape of Salford in the 1940s like L.S. Lowry. No, he's looking at a prison cell, and the bars and the walls and the pain and the anguish after 30 odd years in prison. Alright, he has been a dangerous man, but only when people have provoked him. I don't believe that he'd go out there now and do anything like that. I don't believe he would. I think that's finished. And I sincerely believe that Charles Bronson will get parole. And he goes up on the 6th of March. So on the morning of the 6th of March at 9 a.m, everybody say a little prayer for Charles Bronson. You know, that he gets his release, yeah. He'll be on TV and all that when he does, yeah, because he's going to be a celebrity, isn't he? I'd like to see him on with Piers Morgan, wouldn't you? Yeah. So Piers Morgan will be saying to him, so tell me, Charles, what was it that provoked you into beating people up and tying them up and holding them captive, and all because they didn't like your art, which, let's face it, Charles, is absolute bollocks, isn't it? This is Piers Morgan speaking, not me, by the way. Followed by crash bang wallop as Piers Morgan goes flying off the sets with a big poof right on his snot box. I pay to watch that. Seriously, let's all hope that Charles Bronson gets out. But Robert Brown, well, who knows? I don't know Robert Brown, but if he's done that, prepared a grave, gone and battered somebody to death with a claw hammer, he's obviously unstable. And the justice system is going to put him back into society. Well, good luck with that. But perhaps Dominic Raab will step in. Hey, Dominic Raab's a black belt, a karate black belt. Did you know that? So he's no mug. I mean, but he's had a few complaints about him bullying staff. I think it's just the big soft articles in the civil service. All he'd say was, "Do the job, else I'll throw you through that bastard window." I mean, what's wrong with that? Come on, it happens all the time. Yeah. Miss Pennyweather. You failed to prepare the files. Open that window. Whoa! Bond. James Bond. Right, anyway, enough of the frivolity. So that's what's happening there. I've been talking about the prisons, of course, the recruitment of prison staff. And, I mean, if the official Home Office recruitment videos are saying anyone can be a prison officer, anyone can be a prison officer. Basically, they're saying we're desperate for staff, aren't they? And I wonder why. They bloody deserve to be, let's be honest about it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. This is Tales from the Jails. John G. Sutton. I hope you've all read my book now. It's getting some good reviews at last. Well, it's got 74% 4-5 star. Well, that's not too bad, is it? The people who were reviewing my book who were saying things like, I did 30 years in the prison, I never saw anything like this. Well, you tend not to see very much if you walk around with your eyes shut. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I have a special request here from Parole, who is in Glasgow, by the way. She says she likes big band music, so what I want you all to do, if you will, you join in, and get yourself some trumpets and saxophones and drums and pianos and all that, and play along as I sing this song, which was made famous by Glenn Miller, and it's going to be utterly made unfamous by John G. Sutton. It's Chattanooga Choo Choo. People usually dance around like this, So Paula, you can dance. Everybody's making the music for you. And here we go. Catherine too. She's going to join in, aren't you, Catherine? Yeah. Hello, railroad. Is this the railroad? I want a one-way ticket down to Tennessee. I'm leaving immediately. Chattanooga. Here I come. Pardon me, boy. Is that the Chattanooga choo-choo? Right on track 29. But can you give me a shine? I can afford to board the Chattanooga choo-choo. I got it wrong then. I've got my fare, and a trifle to spare. You leave the Pennsylvania station about 3:45. Read a magazine, and then you're in Baltimore. Dinner in the diner, nothing could be finer. Then have your ham and eggs in Carolina. When you hear the whistle blow, 8 to the bar. Then you know that Tennessee is not very far. Shovel all the coal in, gotta keep it rolling. Woo-hoo! Chattanooga, there you are. There's gonna be a certain party at the station in satin and lace. I used to call funny face. She's gonna cry and tell her that I'll never roam. So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Hey there, boy, yes, I'm a-coming back to Tennessee. Hey there, boy, yes, I want a one-way ticket on the Chattanooga choo-choo train. Pardon me, boy. Is that the Chattanooga choo-choo-choo? Right on track 29. My baby, I'm doing fine. Boy, can you give me a shine? Yeah, give me a very good shine. There's gonna be a certain lady at the station, dressed in satin and lace. Oh, what a big funny face. I used to call her just a funny face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that I'll never roam. So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? I kind of lost it at the end there, didn't I? I thought that woo-woo bit was quite good. Anyway, Tales from the Jails, John G. Sutton. Thanks for watching.